Hello everyone, welcome to channel. The story of Wicked is far from over. The beloved Broadway musical about the Witches of Oz was split into two films for its adaptation, and while the first movie continues to dominate the box office this holiday season, anticipation is already building for the next chapter. Like its predecessor, the second installment will be helmed by director Jon M. with a script by original book writer Winnie Halsman and Dana Fox. Producer Mark Platt, who brought the stage show to life, returns to produce the films. The first Wicked film, released in November, introduced audiences to Elphaba, the green-skinned outcast, and her sister Nessa Rose as they arrive at Shiz University. Elphaba is reluctantly paired as roommates with the popular and bubbly Glinda, setting off a journey from mutual dislike to an unexpected, life-changing friendship. Together, they travel to the Emerald City to meet the enigmatic Wizard of Oz. While Glinda begins dating carefree party boy Fiyero, Elphaba struggles to hide her feelings for him as she begins to see his deeper side. Meanwhile, Nessa Rose develops a relationship with Munchkin Bach, though his initial intentions were to impress Glinda. Elphaba's world shatters when she uncovers the truth about the wizard. He is the mastermind behind the oppression of the animals, including her beloved professor, Dr. Dillamond. When she rebels against his regime, the wizard and the cunning Madame Morrible brand her a villain. Embracing her power, Elphaba soars to freedom in the iconic, defying gravity number, ending the first film on a dramatic high. The second film will pick up where this emotional moment leaves off, diving into the story's darker second act. Serving as a prequel to The Wizard of Oz, the sequel now officially carries the title Wicked, for good. Fans had noticed that the first film's promotional material did not include a Part 1 label, sparking some confusion, but the sequel has now been solidified with its meaningful name. The title, For Good, pays tribute to the musical's moving closing duet between Elphaba and Glinda, where they reflect on the profound impact they've had on each other's lives. Wicked, For Good is scheduled to hit theaters on November 21st, 2025, nearly a year to the day after the first movie's release on November 22nd. Following in the footsteps of its predecessor, the second film is expected to remain faithful to the stage production. However, the tone will shift as the narrative grows darker and more intense. Elphaba and Glinda find themselves on opposing sides. Elphaba becomes a fierce leader of resistance against the wizard's oppressive rule, while Glinda chooses to remain behind, becoming a spokesperson for his regime. As friendships are tested, loyalties are questioned, and destinies are forged, Wicked, For Good promises to deliver the powerful and emotional conclusion fans have been waiting for. There will also be continued developments in the love triangle between Glinda, Fiyero, and Elphaba. And we'll have to confront Elphaba's end in The Wizard of Oz, death by melting. The story of Wicked continues to deepen in Wicked, For Good, with even more emotional twists and high-stakes drama. The love triangle between Glinda, Fiyero, and Elphaba will evolve further, bringing new layers to their relationships. Meanwhile, the story edges closer to its tragic connections with The Wizard of Oz, where Elphaba's fate, her infamous death by melting, and the house that crushes her sister, Nessa Rose, loom ahead. Director Jon M. previously described the thematic shift between the two films, telling Entertainment Weekly, "If Part 1 is about choices, Part 2 is about consequences. Choices are difficult to make, but when you do make those choices, sometimes the result isn't what you expect. It can be lonely, it can be hard." He added that the second installment will bring a deeper, more introspective tone. There's a lot of soul-searching in movie 2. They're asking, is this the right decision that you made? There's a matureness and a nuance to it that we earn from the first movie. The second movie really gets to play with. While Wicked faithfully used Stephen Schwartz's iconic Broadway score, with a few additions like the vocal cameos in One Short Day, For Good will introduce 2 brand new songs from Schwartz. Specifics, such as which characters will perform these songs or how they fit into the storyline, remain under wraps, but the additions could enhance the narrative and address long-standing critiques of the show's second act. Historically, Wicked's second half has been seen as rushed and less impactful than its first, but with new music and what's likely to be a more expanded story, For Good has the potential to change that perception. As the first Wicked continues its successful theatrical run and generates major awards buzz, including discussions about a possible Best Picture Oscar nomination, Universal has remained tight-lipped about the sequel. So far, only the title has been revealed. No poster or teaser trailer has been released yet, and it's unclear when fans will get their first look at For Good. The first Wicked dropped its teaser trailer during the 2024 Super Bowl, but it remains to be seen if Universal will repeat the strategy for the sequel. Since both films were shot simultaneously, production on For Good has been completed for nearly a year, raising hopes that a teaser might arrive sooner rather than later. For now, fans eagerly await the next glimpse of Elphaba and Glinda's emotional and powerful journey.